Hey, yo, check this out. I found out that I got a secret message from Zuck Daddy, and I want to kind of get you in on this. Check this out. So, my friend Zuck actually hit me up on the DMs and said, "Yo, I got a bag for you." I was like, "What? Nah, for real?" And I dropped the bag, ladies and gentlemen. I had a chance to get $100 million and I did not respond fast enough. I missed out on one of those exploding offers from Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm so mad. Oh my God. Of course, if you're watching this right now, you probably read the title that like this is actually a mock message. And this is something that I made using this app called Mockly. And I have to tell you about this super secret tool because not only can you mock the conversations, I can say like this can be a whole Slack message. Like we did this in Slack. I did this on X, like you can say I did this on Reddit. And all of the theming and everything is there exactly the way you want it. You can say I'm on Telegram. We did a Tinder chat with, and so it's so ridiculous. Like I get even an iMessage and stuff like that. And so, it has to be legit if it comes from like Instagram or some of these other platforms. And one of my favorite things about this whole platform is that you can just keep typing like, yo, oh my God, yes. And so you can change the timestamps and do all these types of things in this tool. And if you are a content creator right now, I feel like this is probably one of the dream tools for you to use, because if you're making documentaries, if you're making anything that involves this stuff, I don't know about you, but doing this in Canva and doing all the stylings for all these types of things is just super complicated and takes a long time to do. And I'm actually very lucky enough to have the founder of this app on our show today. And I think this is going to be a really awesome interview with Maurice Klein. Thank you, Maurice, for joining. I really love your app so much. And I just saw you post about it a couple days ago, right? I think you just made the app as a kind of like a here's a thing. And I saw it. I was like, bro, this is perfect. Oh my God. So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Very cool.
What made you come up with the whole idea for the app?
Yeah, it was actually last weekend. I was just, sort of doom scrolling on Twitter, and someone posted a Bumble conversation screenshot, like just between them and a Bumble user. And then someone replied on that, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, which tool did you use for it?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, like no tool. This is a real conversation." And I was like, "Oh, but wait a second. Like, a tool that could do that could probably be interesting." So I started messing around with it, started on Sunday, did a bit of work on Monday, Tuesday. And then I was like, okay, like I need to focus on my actual job. And, I'm just going to put this to the side. I'm not going to do anything else with it. And that was it. And then yesterday morning, I came to the office and I was like, hey, this thing I've been working on, what if I just put it on Twitter? Like just
Yeah.
make a little demo video and do like one of those, should I ship it sort of posts. Yeah, and I did that, and then the past 2 days have been pretty crazy.
This is so crazy. It's like
Yeah.
I'm so it's so fun. I can have so much fun with starting this conversation. It's just like, yo, I could just like go in here and just literally type in yo, like, with the little thing says yo. And they could be like, let me cook. How much? 300.
It's just, like, of course we spoke just before you went live, and just seeing you like play around with it and laughing and just having a lot of fun just making these fake conversations is like so worth it. It's like
it's so ridiculous because you can do it literally on any platform and you can mock anything you want. So I found a picture of Mark Zuckerberg online, obviously went to his like little like Instagram profile and pulled the actual image from the CDN and then put it up in here. And you can do anything you want. And like you said, when you select different ones, it just takes forever to do this yourself. Or try to like people actually send messages from the platform pretending to be them. But it's like, it's just perfect if you're doing marketing and these types of things. And so I think your tool is literally free. Like I can do these types of things. I could download the image right now.
Yeah, you can do this like 3 times, and then you get a little pop-up like, hey, get a premium subscription and get unlimited downloads, but you can just close it and keep going. Like for now, I think the main thing that has just been so much fun with, I guess, the virality of that post is like figuring out how people want to use this thing. Like there's people that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna prank my friends, and
Hmm.
there's people that are like, oh, this is great for documentary makers or social media teams or marketing teams, and these are all things that I hadn't even thought about. I just started making it. I thought it was a fun idea to try out. And you put it on Twitter, it goes viral, and then all of a sudden you have all these use cases where you're like, oh, wait a second, this could be an actual thing. Like, I have to
Yes.
do something with this now.
Oh man, I'm having so much fun playing around with this tool. And I am curious, how did you go from like the idea to kind of actually implementing it? Did you use any AI tools and stuff like that? Kind of would love to hear some more about that thinking process.
Yeah. So I typically build apps with Next.js. It's sort of my go-to stack for new apps or for anything that I want to prototype. So that was the first thing I did, is just set up a Next.js repo. I use Cursor. So, I had a few ideas about sort of roughly the interface. I wanted to go with this 2-column system. So started building that a little bit. I added all the Shetzian UI components because that's just, it's just easy to not have to think about how to implement all the sort of little interactions and accessibility and stuff like that. So I added all of
Mm,
that, and then I just started sort of figuring out, what are the building blocks here? How do I want this thing to look like? And I had I had a lot of different iterations on that, especially the conversations input. It was sort of this drag and drop thing at first, and it was very tedious, like selecting who's saying what and then adding the message and then adding a new message. Way too many clicks to
ah,
actually just keep going.
yes,
So it took me a while to actually get to this version, which is, I feel like, more intuitive. Like you just keep typing, press enter
right.
new message, press enter new message.
Yeah.
um yeah.
That's so cool. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm really surprised how fast you're able to build this and stuff. And so you've been building apps for a long time, and so it's just really easy for you to kind of work with these frameworks and kind of prototype and go super fast, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been developing software for 12 years now. And
Mm,
for the past 2 years, I've been running an agency. So we do a lot of like different client projects.
mm,
A lot of AI projects these days, AI automations, workflows. Some of them have front end, some of them are just completely back end.
mm.
But when we do need a front end, or we need some kind of UI or some interface, we typically go with Next.js, or we go with Expo if it's a mobile app, um, and then sort of go from there.
That's excellent. One of the things I kind of like about this app is that it's not like AI. I have to do something with AI and generate conversations. I think you're just very simple in saying, like, this is a really cool use case, and you just put it out there, and now people like me can play with it, and then like even download
Yeah.
and do the different things and stuff like that. And I want to say that your premium tier right now, as far as like paying for this, is actually kind of like ridiculously cheap, right? It's like it's 70% off right now. So it's like literally $3 a month if you want to do that. You can still
Yeah.
download 3 images for free, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can even just, sort of close this modal when it pops up after 3 downloads and keep downloading. And you just, you'll get the modal every time. So it's going to be a bit annoying. But the main thing I wanted to verify here is, like, a lot of people replied in the comments on Twitter, like, oh, this is a great tool. Like, one person literally said, like, take my money. Like, where do I sign up? And so I wanted to validate, like, do people actually want to just leave their credit card details and start paying for this thing? Because then I know if there's an actual business to be built here.
I see.
Because, up until yesterday morning, it was just like a fun side project that I posted on Twitter, or on X. Um, so yeah, so right now it's really cheap. It's a huge discount. I don't even know if the pricing makes sense. We haven't tested anything. We haven't really compared, like, what are similar tools charging. Right now it's just like, are you willing to pay us, a small amount of money for the
Right.
value that you get out of it, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I like this so much because on X, I think you only have how many followers? Like your
Yes.
your account is actually
So
super tiny, right? It's like it's only like 1,008 followers, and probably it was under a
yeah,
thousand
but
before I
dude,
retweeted it, right?
yeah, dude, yesterday morning it was 105. Like, I would get
Wait, you
like
had
200.
105 followers?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yesterday morning, it was like 8:30
Oh,
a.m. my time. So it was like probably like around midnight your time. I had like 105 followers. And then I
no.
posted this thing. it blew up. I think it has like 650,000 views or something now. And yeah,
Oh,
the follower count, it's basically 10x.
oh,
So yeah, yeah, it's wild. It's
no
yeah,
way. Oh my
yeah, because
goodness.
like I had only been
Oh.
posting, yeah, I'd only be posting somewhat regularly since like February or so, like just a tweet or like a post per day or so. Um,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I would
Do
get
you
like
have
a
a
hundred
reply to story
views.
feature with subscribe instantly? What's a reply to story like oh like like in the
Oh,
stories like for
yeah. Yeah, great question. It's actually one of the things that a few people mentioned. Like, hey, if you do like the Instagram mocking, let's say, it could be cool if you can mock the story that you're replying to as well. But yeah, there's already so many features that people have requested. Like, when you do iMessage, for example, like maybe you can also do like an emoji reaction to a message or reply to a message. So
mhm.
I might be building all of these messaging apps at some point.
Ah,
Exactly.
that's
Just
funny.
to just to get them to work as they do in real life. But
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. And then I think Lars also has a question. It's like, could you build a big proposition out of this? It sounds like it. I mean, I didn't realize it almost
yeah,
has it has already 500,000 views just from that
yeah,
post. And you went from
yeah,
100 followers off the retweet to like almost 1,000 overnight. Bro.
yeah, yeah. Shout
Oh,
out to Lars, but for sure, there is a proposition. I think one of the things that I realized with quite a few people saying like, oh, this is great for marketing teams and social media teams and documentary makers. It's like people want to have something like this where they can collaborate, and so if we can come up with a way to get people to start a workspace, invite members, maybe there's some sort of like workspace history, like a shared history of different mocks that you've created. There's a
that's hot.
whole bunch of other platforms that we could use, like we could have a ChatGPT mocker or Gmail mocker, or like there's so many things we could do here.
That's
So yeah,
funny.
I think there's potential here.
Yeah, it sounds like, and it's also will be driven by the people who will be willing to pay, who say, I have this need in the market. Maybe throw up a paywall
Yeah,
and saying, hey, if you pay $15 or $20, and if we get enough signups, I'm going to build this feature. I'm going to land it in the next month or two or a couple weeks or whatever.
yeah.
That could be an interesting way. It's almost like a Kickstarter, but for your own features and for your own apps, right?
True, yeah. It's so true. And the cool thing is, because I've been building like apps for clients for a long time, and I've always like played around with the idea of maybe launching my own app. And I've had some things that were sort of finished or at least ready for some beta users, but I've always struggled with distribution. And then when a
Oh,
tweet blows up like that, like dude, I was featured on TechCrunch yesterday. Like they wrote an article about this thing. It's like what, like what is happening right now?
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
huge signal, and to definitely, I mean, it's actually really good. I mean, it's not like
Thanks.
I'm running into a lot of bugs. Like, I'm
Yeah,
I'm cooking, bro. I am cooking. It's like, I am
yeah.
cooking, bro.
It's still in a rough shape for sure. Like there's so many things we want to like polish here and fix and improve, and then adding all these new platforms and the team feed. Like there's already so many ideas. Like I could quit my full-time job and then just start doing this if I wanted to. But yeah, it's
Dude, this is
it's
insane.
fun.
Yeah, I could pretend to be like Elon Musk and then, have him whatever, like this is
Yeah.
too good, man. And then I think, oh yeah, so every single one of these can be changed. So you could be like, change this to like a different time. Oh, this is too good, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Wow.
there's a lot of weird things. Like you can also now, the next message could be like in the past, like compared to the previous message. So like you can end up in states that are very much not realistic. But
Right.
I think it's maybe also a bit of the charm of the product, because a lot of people have also commented that they're a bit worried about, what about scams and people that want to use
Ah.
this for malicious purposes, which I
Hmm.
totally understand. Like there is um, a
A
way, I
concern.
suppose, where you can use Mockly to do that.
Hmm.
So when there's like weird little glitches like this where the timestamps are off or the UI doesn't 100% match the actual UI. Initially, I was like, oh, I want to have it like 100% match. But I actually think it's kind of charming that it doesn't, because it also is clear, like, this is not the real thing, you know?
Right.
Like, if someone wants to use it to actually scam people, it's like, dude, this is not the real thing. This is a Mockly export. You're not going to get me. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these people, it's like you can already tell kind of where it's going and stuff. And there, while there is a concern, like you say, there is some like organicness and some incorrectness here that is does basically not make it authentic. And
Yeah.
I think with like anything, a lot of people are becoming more aware that new scams exist. So it's on that effort. I always tell my friends, it's like whenever someone calls you and even asks for any information, unless you know who that voice is, I don't even like continue the conversation, because I don't want my voice to be picked
Yeah.
up and misconstrued or something like that for something, saying something I didn't, right? And
For
like the same
sure.
thing for these other stuff. It's like, always do these types of things to protect yourself. Now people, like, I think the same thing happened with spam when email first came out. People were like, hey, um I'm getting this link. My grandson sent me an email saying I should send him some money and some gift cards to this location. You're just like,
Yeah.
now that sounds sus. Like, I'm trying to help
Yeah.
this guy out over, in a whole different country. I hope they're okay. It's like, now people instinctively know that that's not okay. So I think that's kind of what
Yeah.
happens over time, is that basically you do this type of thing. Um, DERS code says, yo, what's up? I don't know if you know about this DERS codes, but I fumbled the bag of my life. And I'm pretty bummed out, because I basically got the bag from Zaddy Duck, Daddy Zuck, and he says like, hey, Ray, I got something for you. And I was like, really? Yo, what is this, man? What is this bag that, everyone's speaking of? And it's like, I had to reply in 10 seconds to get this $100 million offer, and this exploding offer exploded right in my face. And I said, dang, I totally missed this whole thing. So we're talking today, for those who are just kind of catching up a little bit on the stream, with the founder of Mockly. And then this app, is basically allow you to do these little mock-ups of these types of conversations in real time, which is also too cool. So like literally in this app, I can just type in whatever I want, and then it will like make it, and you can style it in any type of platform that you want to do. So you can have, Zuck message you on Messenger. It's like, I am cooking, bro. Oh my God, this is dumb. So like, it's like whatever, you can actually, I think my favorite part of this is like actually typing, and then it shows up in real time right next to it. Because if you have done any type of like marketing, any type of thing, trying to animate this in like a program, it's really hard to do. And all I have to do is now screen record this section and then record it. And then could be a part of my video later on. And so as someone who's trying to like get into marketing, I call it Rizz marketing. It's like you're just trying to like insert yourself and do something like really funny. Like the speed at which you can do this type of stuff is really awesome. It's not like a really sexy AI app that's using all these APIs and doing funny stuff. It's actually something deadly simple. And I think my favorite part of this whole story is the fact that literally you maybe only had 100 followers, and you've already crossed over 1,000 just from that one post, and it's already gained over 600,000 people who've seen it. You're gonna have like 1 million in the next couple of days, dude. And
I hope so. That would be kind of cool.
that's insane. I think the other
Yeah.
part is the fact that like you have a real job, like you're a developer developing Next.js and doing this type of, so you have all this experience using these types of systems. And this was sort of like a side project that is now kind of taking on its own life. And I feel like other people may be in a similar situation. You really just don't know. And he posted on X. I saw it. I wasn't following him to begin with. It just showed up on my feed. And that's just what can happen. Overnight, someone, the right person will see it, and they resonate with it, and then they share it, and then their friends resonate with it, and it just kind of keeps going. And it's not like you said, oh, I had a big plan, I had a venture startup, I had this type of money.
Not at all. Like, I wasn't even planning on sharing it, because I sort of shelved the project. I think I worked on it on Tuesday, and then I sort of shelved it, and I was like, okay, this is distracting. I have too many things going on. Like, I should focus on my agency. Like, I run a software agency. Like that's what I should be focusing on right now. So let me shelve this, and if I have some headspace, I'll get back to it. And then yeah, Thursday morning I just came to the office and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post it. Just see how people react to it. Add a catchy tune to the video, like the demo video, and see what happens. And yeah, it just happened. I think it's
That's
one of
really
those
cool.
things. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where people say like, just post it and just ship it. I think it's true. Like you're gonna have like 100 things that are like, you get a few views, especially if you're a small account like mine. You get a few views, and then one of them is, as you said, someone's picking up on it. I think it literally was you. I think you were one of the catalysts that really propelled this thing into into virality.
Dude, this is too
Yeah, and
fun,
then
man. Like, I'm just gonna have all these conversations with myself every day, just like this. I'm gonna be like, "You got this, bro. If you dream it, it will come." Wow.
exactly, there you go. Suck said it.
Yes.
Must be
So
true.
I got you, fam. It's like I don't know. I could have these conversations every day, and I don't know. I feel like I had to have you on, especially as another person who's trying to build software, and people are kind of struggling along. And with AI, do you have any like specific rules? Like I think you said you're coding with some of these AI platforms as well, right? Like
Yeah.
how do you kind of approach your building and your ideas? I know like you can spin them up pretty fast by hand, but what's your kind of go-to right now? Like what's your kind of stack, or like how did you kind of start to mock this up even to begin with? Like what did you start with?
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I have tried vibe coding in the past, but I didn't want to do it on this particular app because I also just wanted to mess around with a couple of new things. Like I've been adding Biome just to kind of see how that works as a linter and a formatter. There were some new things in Next.js I wanted to try out, and also I really like the craftsmanship of coding, and I think sort of that gets a little bit lost with vibe coding, and you don't really know what's going on, and maybe things are not quite how you would do it yourself. So I also just wanted to think about, okay, all these preview components of the different messaging platforms, like how can I set them up in such a way that they sort of have a lot of shared interactivity and a shared base, but it can also
Mm.
be fully customized to look like
Ah.
the actual platform. So there were some things there that I like to tinker with and that I like to figure out myself. And of course, I do a lot of like the autocomplete stuff, and I ask Claude. I use Claude a lot, so I ask
Mm.
Claude a few questions, especially the more sort of tedious tasks that are you know replacing a bunch of stuff across multiple files or adding stuff across multiple files. Like then I would ask Claude, like, hey, this is the thing I want you to do, because it's just
Mm.
tedious work. But when it
Yes.
comes to the really creative stuff, I just want to like tinker with that myself and just use autocomplete a bunch of time. Just keep tabbing through your code. But at
Oh.
least you're still sort of handwriting it a little bit, which is fun.
Well, that's really cool to hear. Because one of the things I kind of wanted to get your insights on is, are you using the new Tailwind V4 stuff?
Yeah, I
Okay,
am.
cool. And then ChatCN's latest things in like Next.js 15 and stuff as well. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
how did you approach this design system? And maybe for folks who are beginning, what could be very helpful here is like maybe explaining the ShadCN design system to people, because maybe they're not actually familiar. They've heard it a lot and they maybe don't realize that you can actually produce UIs just like this, and it doesn't have to look like every other app. And so
Yeah.
explain that type of thinking and how you're like sort of architecting this in your head, and like how how the structure of this work and how it actually kind of can compound for you in the way that it returns dividends like you're doing now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So the cool thing about ChatCN is that you just get all of this interactivity and accessibility and some base styling out of the box. And I like interfaces that look good, but I don't like building them. So with ChatCN, you just sort of get something that looks good. It looks clean, it works well. And you get the interactions that you would expect from things like a modal or a popover, when you open the platform picker, or this one, for example, as well. Like all of these things just work. And having to build those like manually is quite tedious, and it's quite easy to mess up because, maybe you're not supporting keyboard interactions, or maybe you're not supporting
Mm.
mobile devices like tap gestures and stuff like that. And
Oh.
so with Chatzy, you just sort of get all of that out of the box, which is really cool because I like architectures, like I like coding architectures, and I don't really like coding or thinking about interfaces, and specifically like the small elements of interfaces, like what a button should look like, or what, where the should the icon have 4 REM padding or 2. Like, I just want a
Yeah.
system that has it all figured out, and that is what Shazien does really well. Um, and then you have a set of components, and then it's just up to you to sort of configure them and put them together in a certain way that makes sense, and yeah, just play around with it.
Wow. Yeah, because that's kind of the power of it. And then you define a component, or how do you organize all these different like types here, right? Because you have like iMessage and its own styling. Do you create like a component for this, for iMessage and it's like little things, and then pass that in terms of like a structured layer here? Because it's still like kind of the same interface here, right? But then it's just the
Yeah.
styling that gets applied, and then like even the rearranging where the windows and placements are, because each of them have different gaps, right? Like X has a different gap and spacing, even the roundedness of the button, right? Because this is like a
Yeah.
square. Like doing this by hand for all of the different things and all the different rules is kind of tedious. So I was just kind of wondering how you approach that, right? Because just like even just the little window, see, this is a circle, but it's like sort of a squircle with this like roundedness,
Yeah.
and it's a different roundedness from the other ones. How did you
Yeah.
think
It's
about
it's
that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Tailwind. So I have a set of core components that each preview component shares, and it's mainly around the message bubbles, so that they
Mm,
have shared interactivity. So, for example, timestamps, the way you can change them by clicking on them, it should work the same in every preview, because
mm,
it's not a feature that exists on the platform. Like on the specific, there's no time
ah,
picker on TikTok,
yeah,
so that's something that
right.
I need to control. And so I just built a bunch of interactivity components, I suppose. So components with no styling, but they
Yeah.
do provide the interactivity. And then you just pass in a bunch of class names so that you
Oh,
can fully customize it to look like each individual platform. And I'm not very
ah,
happy with the way it's structured right now. I think I can
right.
extract more common components from it and make it even sort of like more shared, because there is a lot of custom code now for each individual preview component. Yeah, even
Mm,
things like this, like the dark mode toggle, for example. I need to
hmm.
pass the dark mode prop to each component, and then have like all these if else statements, like if dark mode is toggled on, then do this, or
I see.
it's slightly tedious. And I think if we want to add a lot more platforms, it's going to be a real pain in the ass. So we need to think about how to structure that better. But for now it works, and they look relatively close to the actual platforms. As I already said before, like some of them are not quite there yet,
Hmm.
which might be a feature and not a bug, so it's a fake.
I
um,
see.
but yeah, I feel like I can do better with the sort of extracting the common components here.
I know DERS codes was having some issues right there. So I would definitely hit up Maurice and let him know some of the bugs that you're hitting. And I think he'll be happy to
Yeah.
kind of help resolve them for you and so forth. Because I think it was like an export issue or something he was having. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is interesting thing. He said just worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, it just worked.
Ping me
Okay.
on.
Sent it to my business
Oh,
partner. So good.
hey, you love to see it. Nice. Thanks.
Dude, this is too fun. I mean, like you can mock messages between your family members. You're like,
My
mom, you
mom
said,
said what?
yeah, yeah. Oh, and then I'm
Okay.
probably pretty sure someone's gonna want a group chat one with all these different group chat bubbles.
Oh
With
yeah.
that'll be so
Yeah.
good because
Group
then you
chat
can
has
have like,
been Yeah, it's been requested a lot. Group chat, message replies, emoji replies. Like there's been so many people that have been asking for these sort of default features, or like table stakes features that all these messaging apps have. Yeah, I might end up just building each messaging app myself, but just the front end. But we'll
wow.
see. We'll see how far we want to take it.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would just have like pay for features, and then whoever is paying a bunch of money, like I'll work on that feature next type of thing or something. I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
at this point, definitely.
that's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm just really delighted to have you on the stream and just talk about this type of stuff. I'm excited to kind of catch up with you and see what happens a month from now. Are you going to be rolling up with like,
Yeah.
a Lambo, a couple Lambos, like a really crazy mansions with waterfalls inside of them, swimming pools and
I
stuff?
mean,
No.
it has to happen, right? It has to happen at this point. There's no way back.
Yeah, you're gonna get that DM from Zuck about $100 million exploding offer. You'd be like, yes, I said
I'll take it.
yes. Yeah. It would be nice if it showed as a social media card on your website as a faker. Oh, so
Oh, I
like
see. Yeah. And like
that.
to embed it maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you send a link and it just shows the embedded. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can
Good
do.
idea.
This is, yeah. Yeah. These are really, really good
Yeah.
ideas. Cool. Is there anything else you want to share as far as like, kind of like tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know you talked about your experience there, but kind of like what you're doing and then how people can get in contact with you and stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I'm based in Amsterdam. I run a software agency together with my friend Toon. We do a lot of client projects, front end, back end, but mainly AI implementations for customers. Yeah, and I'm always tinkering with things on the side. This is one of them, but this one was quite a bit bigger than any of my projects before combined, I think. Um, yeah, what else can I say? You can reach me on X. It's Maurice underscore Kleine. Yeah, if you're facing any issues with the app or if you have any questions or feature requests, just reach out, DM me. Happy to hear about it and hopefully implement it or fix it for you. Yeah, and I think we'll just keep rolling forward with this idea, see if people are excited about it. We have 3 paying customers, by the way. I didn't say that yet. There's 3 people
Oh,
that signed up and started paying for the product, and we launched the paywall like at 5, I think. So sorry, that's 5 p.m.
wow.
my time. So that's 2.5 hours ago. So
Whoa.
I think there's some
Whoa.
there's some signals. Yeah, it's crazy. 3 paying
Wow.
customers just like that.
Yeah, if anyone wants to try, check it out. It's called getmockly.com. You can use it for free.
There
You
you
can
go.
export up to like 3 images. After that, you'll hit a pop-up window. You can decline if you want to just keep using it and so forth. Support Maurice. I think it's really cool, especially as builders, when you see a product like this and you really like it, and even just telling other friends is super helpful. And
Yeah.
it sounds like, yeah, you have a lot of feature requests and other people are willing to pay, more money and so forth because, even just like some people, even like for me, it would be kind of fun, like maybe get a recording feature, right? Like I'm going to screen record one
Yeah.
thing, but like imagine if you had like a replay,
Oh yeah,
that'd be kind of
100%.
wild,
I think that's actually out of all of the comments, and there's a lot of them because I couldn't read through all of it. Like there's so many people reply, but I think the main thing that I saw the most is, "Hey, can I export this to a video?" Like you
Oh,
get you see the messages
yes.
coming in, you get your typing indicators, and then your final product is like a small MP4 video that you can, I don't know, post on social media or whatever. So that's definitely something working on. We started working on it today. By the way, I keep saying we, but it's 2 of my mates that I pulled in yesterday. I started a group chat after the whole thing exploded. I was like, guys, I need you. We need to seize the opportunity and start building something cool. So shout out to my boys Stone and Jasper. But yeah, for sure, animated videos are coming up soon.
Like this is hilarious, bro. Dude, it's like this is yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm so happy to just have you on the stream. It's really fun to kind of feature other AI builders, like, or just people building using these types of products. It's not even like AI like forward per se, it's just an app,
Mm,
super useful. You don't ever really know what's gonna take off in social media, right? Like it's
no,
like you just try these things and you just vibed it together with your experience and you're just going to keep rolling, and a lot of people out there really want to just try this out. So you want to check it out, make sure you check out getmockly.com and go ahead and check that out. And as far as like social medias, Maurice, thank you so much. It's really a
you
pleasure to
too,
have you on
man.
the show, and I'm looking forward to kind of checking in a little bit later and seeing how the progress of this whole thing goes.
Yes.
And feel free to tune in. My name is Fernando. I used to be an engineer at Apple. I used to work there for 12 years, and Now currently on my own doing this type of thing. I'm actually streaming every single day during the summer here. It's my summer of streaming. So you're finding me usually around 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And, I'm talking, coding live and doing these various things, finding other people who are doing really cool stuff, pulling these gems out from X and bringing them on screen just for you guys. So, Maurice, I really appreciate the really last minute request to get you on the show. I'm so glad we got you on here. And yeah, we're here basically before everything is like mega viral and stuff. And definitely go ahead and try that out. I appreciate everyone kind of supporting these small builders and kind of tuning into us for these types of things. And we will see you tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.
Thanks, Ray.
All
See
right,
ya.
see ya. Bye.